Welcome to the Drunkard's Path. I'm Shelley, and for those of you just tuning in for the first time, we have a family-owned quilt shop. It's an online shop at www.drunkardspath.com, where you can go online and see all the wonderful fabrics. We have hundreds of bolts of great high-quality fabric, Moda, and all kinds of different lines. Collections. Have a look and shop at your leisure. We love doing these videos. We love to promote the art of quilting, and we want to inspire you as much as possible with quilting and cross stitch. We want to show you tutorials and free stuff as much as possible. So this is our motivation for making these videos, and we want to say thank you to everybody that has subscribed. So it doesn't cost anything to subscribe, so if you like the content of what you see, please hit subscribe, hit like, and please leave a comment. That really helps to promote this video, and we're getting a good following now. We certainly appreciate every single subscriber that we get, and all the likes. They really help. So thank you. Thank you very much. I just want to touch a little bit on this tariff situation right now. Very quickly, I just want to say pricing is going to stay the same. We haven't been affected, so we're going to keep it the same pricing that's listed on our website. So far so good. Fingers crossed. I just want to say congratulations to the 3 local women that have made Quilt Canada this year. That's happening in Toronto in June. Congratulations and all the best of luck in Toronto. So, giveaway for this week. Let me see here. Well, let's give our last giveaway for the last video. And that was for this windblown pattern. And the name that was pulled is Bob Goodearl X7E. So, could you please drop us a quick email at support@drunkardspath.com and give us your physical address so we can get this out to you right away. Thank you very much. This week's giveaway, we're going to go with cross stitch, and I have this lovely pattern by Lori Holt, and it's called Flea Market Flowers. So again, subscribe, put a comment, because if you don't put a comment, you can't be in the running. I can't see who you are. So great, we would love those comments, and we will see who's going to win this pattern. A new season, we're into spring now, and new giveaway. So for the next 3 months, starting April 1st all the way to June 30th, and we will have this big giveaway. And this time we're gonna go with cross stitch. I'm gonna take it out of the bag so you can see all the lovely things that we're gonna give away. This is Cross Stitch University, and inside of here is a pattern to make this cross stitch right here, and you get the Witchell Ada cloth. It's 14 count, and you get the little thread pack, and there's also a needle in there. With that, we have a small Mad for Plaid bag here. We've added this lovely Lori Holt charm for the bag, and we have 2 nice yards of this Lewis and Irene fabric right here. So that is a lovely prize for someone to win. The winner will be pulled on July the 1st. So anytime you make an order from April 1st to June 30th, your name will go in for the running for this giveaway. So best of luck to everybody, and thank you so much. This is our way of saying thank you. Speaking of giveaways, there are a few people out there that have not claimed their prize, so we're going to give you one more chance. I know that not everybody watches every video, and that's totally understandable, so I'm going to read off these prizes, their names, and contact us at support@drunkardspath.com so you can tell us what prize is yours, and we will get it out to you. So this one here is Wendy Bonvie 6807. So if you could contact us, please. And this nice fabric goes to Valerie Brown 1E7EW. We have these 2 half yards. This one is Joan Kolak 8373. And this last one is Peggy Fanning, 9258. So if you could please get a hold of us, support@drunkardspath.com, and give us your physical address, we can get these prizes out to you. If we do not hear from you by the next video, we're just going to put them back into another rotation of giveaways. So thank you again. Stay tuned for the second half of this video because we have another tutorial. This one is the cross stitch meets quilting, and I'm going to show you how to make this little pillow. And this one came from the Love Grows Here by Primrose Cottage. This is a free pattern, and the link is below on how to get this. This goes to their website, and once you get to their website, you sign up for the newsletter, and that's the only way you can get the link, is they will send it to you via their newsletter. So it's very cute. I went with the blue instead of the purple, but that was my choice. And again, with cross stitch, you just make it your own. So stay tuned. Let's see all the fun things I've been working on. The first one, I've done 3 more blocks for the Riley Blake 2023 or 2025 quilt along. So this one is block 10, and it is called Cat in the Corner by Janet Wecker Frisch. And that's what that looks like. And this is what mine looks like. Now these corner ones, I think they're called Cat's Cradle. Let me see here. That's the name of it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Cat's Cradle. I use this Creative Grids ruler to do my Cat's Cradle. And you can see they came out 100% perfect by using this tool. So that's that one. The next block, block 11, is called Crown Jewel by Sandy Gervais. Looks like this. This one wasn't too bad. This is what my version looks like with the blue, yellow, and the pink. These ones are a little bit trickier to do, but like if you do step by step, you're going to see that it's not that hard. And you just do it over and over. So, block 12, Crossroads by Amber Johnson. This is nice and colorful. And this one actually wasn't too hard. But you can see that's what that one looks like. Very pretty. Next, I have the temperature quilt, and that one's coming along pretty good. So I've got January, February, March on here. I don't know if I got the right way. Oops, you got a buzz. That is what that looks like for those 3 months. And it's starting to take shape, and I've got half of April's done. So you can see we're getting a splash of color now. It's going to look pretty good as we go along. So that's the Bernina sew along. And again, it'll be linked down below. You can still jump in on that one. Next is A Quilting Life, Block of the Month by Sherry McConnell. And this is April's block. So again, all the blocks will have the log cabin, and each middle block will be different. So that's what that looks like. And here's mine. These are nice big blocks too. So you know you're going to have a good size quilt at the end. And that's that one. I just love these colors, these oranges, browns, golds in here. It's going to look really pretty. Next, I'm going to show you, I have 3 fully finished quilts to show you. I've shown you all along 2 of them that I've pieced together, then had the flimsy top. But now I've taken them in to Lori Ramsey. She's done an excellent job on quilting my quilts. And some of these quilts, when you make them, you just need a long armor. Like you just have to have it done by a long armor. And I am just so happy that I did. She did a wonderful, wonderful job. So thank you, Lori. And this is what the one I made for my granddaughter, Thea. She's going to graduate up to her toddler bed in the summer. So this is the one I made. It's all done now. And you can see it's all full of scraps. And those can zoom in. You can see the nice flower pattern that Lori used. I think it's so pretty. With pink thread, it just blends in there so nice. So we'll just go down to show you the bottom. That's a good size quilt. And that is just done with scraps. The next quilt that Lori did for me, I brought in, this one probably took about 1.5 years for me to do from start to finish. This one is from Socialites 2 from Fat Quarter Shop. They had all different blocks, and it really tested your skills for the different block patterns. And I love doing this one. I used the Kim Deal fabric. I had a Fat Quarter Tower that I'm using, which I'm actually using the rest for my Riley Blake 2025 block. So that's how much fabric was in that Fat Quarter Tower. So this is the fully finished quilt that she did. She did a lovely meander all over, all the different blocks. I forget how many blocks are in here. And then I just used a 4-patch in between. So this is the bottom half. And I am really, really happy with the end result of that one, because I just think the colors are so vibrant and so pretty. It's just, that just says me all over, because I just love, love, love those colors. This next one, I used a Jolly Bar, and a Jolly Bar is unique only to Fat Quarter Shop. Moda does them for Fat Quarter Shop because they're a lot bigger outfit. But I had one, and you can make your own Jolly Bar. It's so simple. Instead of a layer cake, you're going to cut it in half. That's it. That is a Jolly Bar. It's a 5x10 instead of a 10x10. And I got this pattern off of Fat Quarter Shop. It's free pattern for their Jolly Bar. Now this one, it calls for, let me see, there's 12 of these blocks, and they're quite big. And it calls for 2 Jolly Bars. So you can actually use your layer cake cut in half to make this quilt. And you're not going to believe how much I got out of this. Like, with 1 Jolly Bar, because I only did half the size, and this is more of like a throw quilt, or just some, I'm going to just put it out in my gazebo in the back for the summer, because there's really beautiful summery colors in it. I got a lot of mileage out of it. So it's a Jolly Bar and some yardage. That's it. So I'm going to show you the quilt first. And let me see what I used. I used Sun Wash by Corey Yoder. That's the name of the Jolly Bar. And look how pretty this is. It was so easy to put together. And I'm going to just fold it in half so you can see the actual size. Very, very summery. And each one of these, I think it was 16 by 16, the blocks. But when I was making these, so you can see this was the actual piece of the Jolly Bar. And you have to cut off here and you have to cut off here. So you have, I think I had like 96 of these little triangles that I cut off. And they were a good sized triangle, and I thought, wow, that's a lot to throw away. I'm not going to throw that away. I sewed 2 together. Like, so I made a square, and then I cut the squares. I think I had 5x5 squares. So I had 48 of these squares. So what I did with that, first thing I thought, okay, I'm going to make a matching pillow. So I made a nice matching pillow to go with the throw. And see how pretty, it's not, it's just, these are kind of like pinwheels here. And you can see there's a little space in between. So you have a lot more of the background. But look how pretty that is. And then I just, envelope back. And there's your pillow, your matching pillow. And then I still had more. So I made a project bag. So it looks like that. And on the back, again with all of these triangles that I sewed together to make the squares, we have that. But wait, I had enough to do one more project bag. So we have that with the back. And that's all out of 1 Jolly Bar and yardage. So I cannot believe how much use I got out of that fabric. And I didn't, like, the amount that I threw away was so minimal. You wouldn't believe it. So you just really, just think out of the box kind of thing. But if you have enough to sew something together and make a block, even if it's not like a typical ordinary block, so what? Make it as you like it and make something out of it. You'd be surprised. Like, I don't think any quilter really throws away scraps. We just kind of just keep sewing them together and see what we get, right? So this one really worked out quite well. I just have to show you this this cross stitch that I'm working on. It is one of the nicer ones that I've ever done. And it is from a book by Blackbird Designs. It's called The Sweet Birds Sing. So it looks like this. Now I'm just going to go to the page inside because I want to show you. Okay, this is what finished it will look like. And what it ends up being. You have all these little pockets on the inside. So it's one of these roll-up little, I don't know what you call it, just a roll-up little baggy thing where you put with the little pockets. And then it closes here. This is what it looks like when you fold it all up. This is what the pockets look like. And it shows you step by step on how to do it. And it is so pretty. So I've got the top half done. I've been working almost exclusively on this here. And you can see the birds and you can just see the colors. And there's just something about that look. It's just so pretty. So I'm just going to go the next step. Go do the bottom part. And then it calls for a piece of linen on the back and some little bit of fabric on the inside to make those pockets. So hopefully by next video I can have this completed so I can show you what it looks like. But it's so pretty. I just love working on this one. Now here's a tutorial on how to make this really cute pillow. So let's get started on how to make a pillow using the Love Grows Here free chart from Primrose Cottage. Now you have to go sign up for their newsletter, and the first week of, I think it's the first Thursday of the month, this free chart will come out each month. So they're all different. So this time it's called Love Grows Here, and it's a house. Now this is going to be my take on a pillow. So let's get started. This is what you will need. Here's the stitch piece. So this is our crossover between quilting and cross stitch. So I went with the blue rather than the purple. I just kind of like that color better. So again, you always make your cross stitch your own. You can follow according to the chart, or you can pull your own colors. So, and also I like to use a piece of stabilizer on the back because I do use linen. Now if I had used Ada, I probably wouldn't need that stabilizer, but this does, it will shift and I don't want it to. So it's a good idea to use the stabilizer. We have a piece of batting, and the two pieces that I have for the side and the bottom. And I've got a bit of rickrack. We're going to try it. We're going to see what it looks like. So first things, oh, and also you need your fiber fill for the inside of the pillow. This is going to be a little bit big for crushed walnut shells. So that's why I'm going to go with the fiber fill instead. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of pin this in place. Just a couple spots, nothing big deal. Oopsie, that's a big pin. Go with the smaller. All right, just over here. First thing that I did was I took a ruler and I placed it on the edges of wherever there was stitching, and I went 1 inch down. So I went 1 inch, 1 inch. I drew a line with a friction pen. I did the same thing here. I drew a line with a friction pen. With friction pen, heat, it goes away, but you're not going to see it anyway because it's going to be buried in the seam. So I am just going to trim on that line, on those lines. Try to keep it nice and square. One. And then one more. Now this is, if you make a mistake, that's it. Like, it's not like you can go get another piece of fabric. So you got to make sure you're doing it right. Like the first time. There's no second try. So now I'm going to take the side piece. It's just going to go like that. I'm just going to pin this in place. Okay. I've got it just ever so slightly bigger. So I'll trim that off as I go along. So I'm just going to pin that. Really have to get rid of these long pins in there. Okay. And pin that in place. And we'll just put one more in the middle. Just to hold it like that. Okay. So I'm going to go do a 1/4 inch seam along here. And we'll get to the next step. Okay. Now I'm going to add my rickrack. So I'm just going to put a little pin in place. This is not easy. I just want to hold it kind of in place right now as I'm going to put another piece on here. I just don't want it to shift. So we kind of have to put that in the middle. Right along here, have the edge meet up with the middle. Okay, and one more. We'll see how this works. Rickrack is tricky. It is for me. Okay, there we go. Okay, now I'm going to put the piece. It's too long, but that's okay. I'm going to trim that off. So I'm going to, as it's sitting in place, I'm just going to pull that pin out for a second and line it up and do it again. Okay, just so it stays a bit in place. Okay, I think we got it on that. Okay, I'm sure there's an easier way to do this, but it's not really coming to my mind right now. So maybe someone can write in the comments, hey, there's an easier way to do this, and this is how you do it. Okay, so now I'm going to sew this into place. I only wanted that rickrack up to here, though. I didn't want it to go all the way across there. That's just what I wanted it to look like. So I'm going to sew that back in place. I'm going to trim that off, and you're going to see that the front part is pretty much done. And then we'll get on to the next step. Okay, here is my piece. And I did move that rickrack up a little bit. So you can, oh, you can't really see there, right? That it's more along, like the humps are aligned more with the bottom because I forgot I had to move it in for because of the 1/4 inch seam. Otherwise, this whole thing would have been just the tip showing. So that is what it looks like so far. So I'm going to put it on the batting, and I'm just going to run a stitch here and here to quilt it before I put the back on. So now we have it sewn onto the batting. You can see the line where I did the quilting. So let's just do a little trim. Let's see here. Trim it up. Things always shift when you sew. A little bit. But that's okay. We're not perfect. All right, so now I'm going to take my backing, okay, and we're going to put the two sides together. So, well, actually, I'm going to trim it to the size that it needs to be. So maybe I can just do it like this, because I wasn't sure how big it was going to be, so that's why I just got a square that I knew was bigger. So good enough. Like that. And we're going to go like that. There we go. Okay. So that's the bottom. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pin around, and I'm going to leave a gap. I'm going to leave this opening so I can turn my pillow. Okay? So let's just put some pins in. Oh, another one of these long ones to keep jumping up. Okay, here we go. Just pin around the outside. And feel it's a little harder to get through. Yeah, we got through. Okay. And oops. Pins are sharp. Okay, one more. Now I'm going to take it up and I'm going to sew from the opening that I left. I can probably go a little bit more. All right. So leave that opening, go all the way around, and then I'm going to trim. I'm going to sew like a quarter inch all the way around, but then I'm going to trim a little bit closer to my seam and cut off each of the corners, but don't cut into your seam, okay? So just so it reduces the bulk when you turn it in, and you can make a nice corner. So I will do that, and we'll get on to the next step. So here we are. I sewed all the way around, and I backstitch at the openings, okay? So when we go to turn it, that we don't lose any stitches. I cut a little closer to the seam line, except for I did leave this at 1/4 inch because when I turn it through, I like to have a little bit of fabric on this side so I can close it better. It's just easier that way. So okay, let's turn this through, and the other side. Stabilizer's making it a little bit a little more stiff, so pushing it through is gonna take a little bit of effort. Okay, let's get it all the way. Let's push out our corners first with our finger. I've got my point turner. Try to get those corners in really good. Remember, don't push too hard. We're not trying to push a hole through. Okay? We just want to make them look like corners. There we go. So, that's what it's going to look like. And then see what I mean here? When you go to close it, you want to have just a little bit of extra to when you go to close. Now, some people like to cut down the back. Like so all the way around. They'll have a cut here. And they'll stuff the pillow. And then they'll put like a piece of felt. Stitch a piece of felt around here. I've never done that, but it does look kind of neat, just depending on the pillow. I think it sometimes it works, sometimes to me I don't really think it does look that good, but like, again, to each their own. So now I'm going to take the fiber fill and I'm going to stuff it in the pillow. So you don't want to have lumps, so try to just kind of pull it apart and stuff it in there. So put the desired amount of stuffing in there. And that's kind of what it's going to look like. I'm going to close that top. And then we'll show the completed pillow. And here's our finished pillow. With our rickrack. A little trim here on the side. And I closed it here. I did a mistake. I should have left the bottom open for the fabric instead of where the linen is. It would have made it a lot easier for me to do that, to close that. But, I mean, it's doable, but I would much rather have seen that whip stitch down here than at the top. But, unfortunately, things happen like this in the sewing room, and you make the best of it. So, this is our completed pillow, and you saw how pretty easy that was and how quick it was, so. Thank you again for staying to the end of the video, and as always, keep sewing, keep stitching.